There are times when a critic truly risks something, and that is in the discovery and defense of the new.
Welcome to MsMojo, and today we're analyzing the impact of movie critics, fan reviews, and who you should trust.
You're not getting to me!
Okay.
You're not getting to me!
Okay, Carl.
He's not getting to me!
In March 2023, A.O. Scott stepped away from his film critic role at the New York Times. Scott said of his departure, quote, "The feeling of disconnection between the critic and the audience feels much stronger, and the gulf feels much wider. That divide continues to grow." Critics at Cannes praised Emilia Perez as bold and important. The film Twitter community found it tonally confused and more problematic than progressive, as reflected through a less than 20% positive audience score on Rotten Tomatoes. Critics rolled their eyes at a Minecraft movie as another shallow case of IP mining. Meanwhile, fans have spoken with their wallets and chickens.
Chicken jockey!
While there are numerous movies critics and audiences agree on, the gap goes back further than you think. After inflation, The Sound of Music remains one of the 10 highest grossing films ever.
These are a few of my favorite things.
Upon release, though, the critical reception was middling, with Pauline Kael writing an especially scathing critique. This supposedly got Kael fired, although she rebounded with a review championing Bonnie and Clyde. At the time, Kael and Roger Ebert were among the only critics who realized the genius of that game-changing crime drama. Various critics, most notably Bosley Crowther, condemned the controversial film.
Why?
Why? What you mean, why? Because you're different, that's why.
Audiences got the last word, making Bonnie and Clyde a bona fide hit. Not long after, Crowther was replaced as the New York Times film critic. Psycho, The Shining, and The Godfather Part 2 are just a few other classics that initially received mixed reviews, but found passionate audiences.
I know it was you, Fredo. You broke my heart.
Since 1979, CinemaScore has tracked audience responses to movies. The Empire Strikes Back was among the first to garner an A+ CinemaScore, but many critics didn't review it as favorably as the original Star Wars.
No. It's not true. That's impossible!
Search your feelings, you know it to be true.
Now, Empire is almost universally considered the franchise's apex. The rise of blockbusters like Star Wars forever changed cinema, further separating critics from general moviegoers. Film keeps evolving, as does film criticism, with the internet providing a platform for everyone.
Why do you feel they are so bad? I feel they're so bad because they're completely dehumanizing.
Yet the way critics and audiences interpret films hasn't radically changed. Critics tend to judge films based on artistic merit, originality, and impact on the art form. Audience opinions are driven more by emotional appeal and sheer entertainment value. So who should we trust when picking a movie to watch?
Well, I'm putting the burden of lousy movies back on you.
Let's see if we can settle this in 3 rounds. Round 1. Credibility. Seasoned critics have dedicated their careers to studying film, accumulating vast knowledge of the craft, and regularly reviewing. Critics are more inclined to appreciate details that might be lost on general audiences, like references to classic Hollywood in Hail Caesar and Babylon.
This is what we've been looking for. Sound is how we redefine the form. Sound!
Since critics are exposed to so many cliched plots and overused tropes, they usually appreciate it when a film like Uncut Gems, Mother, or even Emilia Perez takes a big swing.
Doctor, you don't know what it's like to be a queen.
Of course, just because a film is unique doesn't always mean it's well assembled or even entertaining. If hundreds of critics praise a film the public hates, it's the smaller group, right? Are critics focusing on the wrong elements, or are they digging deeper to unearth what others are missing?
Oh no, so that's the problem. What?
Audience critiques might not be as detailed as critic reviews, although they're more easily digestible. The Greatest Showman had beautiful music, Red Notice had a fun cast, Venom had Venom.
I know everything, Eddie.
You do?
Everything about you.
Ow.
I am inside your head. You are a loser, Eddie.
fan reactions to tentpoles tend to be more generous, hence why studios are featuring audience scores in ads. When you really think about some of these movies, though, more issues with the plot and characters become apparent.
Look at you. You are all so adorable.
Most audiences aren't looking to analyze, however. They just want to be entertained for 2 hours. Fair enough, but is this approach dumbing cinema down? As much as critics nitpick, fans too can dwell on negative aspects while ignoring what works. Fan reviews can also veer into empty, toxic criticisms like Ray is a Mary Sue. Films shouldn't simply be categorized as good or bad. All movies have layers, some positive, some negative, others mixed. Critics have the credentials to uncover these elements, opening up a conversation that may leave you seeing the film in a different light. This round goes to the critics.
The bitter truth we critics must face is that in the grand scheme of things, the average piece of junk is probably more meaningful than our criticism designating it so.
Round 2. Reliability. Critics choose this profession because they love cinema, not because they thrive on trashing movies, as much fun as that can be.
The true critic goes farther and deeper in contextualizing the movie, Peary explained in an interview. He or she situates it in a framework of other films, but also sees it in relation to history, politics, philosophy, economics, literature, whatever seems relevant.
Contrary to conspiracy theories, studios don't bribe critics. When critics praise Marvel while bashing DC, Disney isn't pulling the strings. It's their honest opinions. Whether or not you agree, what matters most is a critic's ability to thoughtfully share their perspective.
Dad, you're being cruel for no reason. What will people think?
People will think what I tell them to think when you tell me what to tell them to think.
Yet it's important to consider the demographics primarily dominating review aggregator sites. According to a 2022 study, 69% of critics across various media are male. This might explain why genres that cater more toward female viewers, i.e. rom-coms, don't always get the best reviews.
That's great.
No.
The art of criticism also seems to be shifting from astutely written commentary to YouTubers ranting before a webcam. Where critics groups are exclusive clubs, anyone can post their thoughts online.
While the internet literally makes it possible for everyone to be a critic, it also literally makes it possible for everyone to be a critic.
Audiences are more volatile, reacting based on immediate emotional responses instead of sitting with a film, taking in the deeper subtext. They may not be as articulate, but user reviews reflect a more diverse collection of voices. However, audience scores are more susceptible to review bombing, despite the measures sites like Rotten Tomatoes have taken to prevent this practice.
A bunch of people will get together and decide preemptively that they don't like not so much the movie, but the messages that are perceived to be within the movie. And so they will cluster on a review site like Rotten Tomatoes, IMDb, and they will plummet the score as low as they can by all giving it 1 star.
Fans of certain franchises can have a cult-like mentality, blindly worshipping the latest release as long as it doesn't betray what came before. Those who go against the hive mind are targets for trolling. Then again, fans who live and breathe the source material may have more insight than a critic who isn't as well-versed.
It's just a movie. No, it's not. To some people, the original is their favorite thing in the world.
While neither camp is 100% reliable, the fact that there are more male than female or non-binary critics doesn't allow for the most balanced consensus. Audience scores are like the popular vote, which provides a more reliable record of people's views than the Electoral College. This round is for the fans.
The fans won't stand for it.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications.
Round 3. Versatility. People assume critics' tastes are limited to art house cinema. In reality, most critics have a broad palette, embracing a range of genres.
Want to hear the most annoying sound in the world?
Still, critics are known for being harsher towards certain types of films, i.e. traditional slasher flicks, sentimental melodramas, or slapstick comedies. They can be especially snobbish about IP-driven blockbusters. The Super Mario Bros. Movie was criticized for relying on Easter eggs, nostalgia, and fan service.
You can't escape me. What? Blue shell!
Of course, that's what fans loved about it. You could make the same argument about Ready Player One, which critics generally enjoyed. Some may argue they're out of touch with mainstream tastes, but critics play a crucial role in highlighting original films like Poor Things, Everything Everywhere All at Once, and The Substance, which might have gone overlooked otherwise.
We want a show that's just like you. Beautiful and happy. People want to be happy.
The public's taste sometimes surprises us. Sausage Party and Spy Kids have fresh critic scores on Rotten Tomatoes, but the popcorn meter for both is negative.
Ew, gross. What do you see? You. Very funny.
You'd think it will be the other way around, but this shows critics can enjoy a gross-out comedy or a chaotic kids flick more than the average moviegoer, where professional critics get to/have to review numerous movies. Fans cherry-pick what aligns with their interests.
It's a different matter in the court of public opinion.
In most cases, they'll prioritize films with brand recognition, allowing original works to fall through the cracks. Although many are content with eating the same meal Hollywood keeps serving, some cinephiles will seek out more ambitious and independent fare. That said, those films probably wouldn't have been on their radars if not for the critics.
Not too shabby.
What is shabby?
Oh, I'm just playing.
While critics don't always get it right, their commitment to watching as much as possible exhibits a wider appreciation for movies. Critics encourage others to step out of their comfort zones, both in terms of filmmaking and film viewing. The more you see, the more versatile your tastes become. Thus, we're giving a thumbs up to the critics for the win.
Film criticism is about more than that. It's about having our perceptions of art challenged and expanded. It's a discussion, not an echo chamber.
Of course, these are merely our thoughts. Just as film is subjective, this conversation doesn't end with one opinion. Share yours in the comments. Do you place your trust in critics, fans, or a bit of both? In any case, it's okay to disagree on movies as long as we can all agree the art form is worth discussing.
There's no such thing as objectivity in the arts. It's all subjective, and you might as well admit that.